chat for a couple of minutes, and as people drop in, we can then see if there's any audio issues with you guys being delayed.
Sure. Okay.
And if it all seems fine, then we'll get up and running. Then, if that's the case. So.
Is the game starting? It's about to. I can see it in the. I see the fangs showing.
I've told them just to hang on for a second.
Yeah. Well, the fangs are up.
Should
I can see them.
Should probably pull it up then, unless I want to watch from the live stream. But no, that's gonna cause echoes.
Yeah, and there'll be a 30-second delay as well. So.
Right. Yeah, and I want to wait until they start the game to join in. There is a bug that can happen where if somebody else enters first, like who wants to spectate, and then the players join in on the game, you can't start it because the game thinks, oh, this person who came in who wants to play. And it's like, no, that person just wants to spectate. And I've had to actually create new lobbies sometimes because of that.
If the person who's spectating just leaves, and then if everyone's selected their roles, if they just unselect one and reselect it, then you can play the game.
Okay.
Look at you, expert. Like you understand the game. All right, let us know when we're good.
Yeah, we're live now, by the way. We've been live for a little bit, but it's okay.
Greetings, various denizens of the YouTube. I'm one of the Quincy Morrises.
Nice.
We're not in the game yet. I'm just posting all the links. People who are watching this post-match, just feel free to skip ahead a couple of minutes. We're just doing audio checks. I really hope somebody logs in, and we can find out if we are delayed or not.
Yeah, just double tap that YouTube screen and skip ahead 10 seconds so you get to the fun bits.
Yeah, I'm gonna open your
get
live
the game
channel
up,
here. Oh, that's my channel.
Yeah,
hold on, I'll find you.
It actually helped if I had Fury of Dracula open.
Ooh. Here I found. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna share this.
Yeah, go for it. Share it around everywhere. Library. I should get Fury of Dracula open.
I hear no echo on the channel. I muted myself and listened to it.
Okay, it's not really echo, and it's also just like our voices delayed. So if I'm speaking now, if one of you two speak immediately after I stop, is it actually coming in on time?
Talking, right after you. We'll see.
Very high.
Yeah, I have a tendency to talk over people. I'll try not to.
When we were doing it, like Strider and I together, Strider was talking over me, but he wasn't really. We were having a normal conversation, but for some reason in the live stream, his audio was 30 seconds delayed, which was really weird, and I've never had that before.
Here, I'm gonna pull it up on the live chat or on what I have here. I'm just gonna see. You'll hear. Yeah, it seems good, and the audio sounds good. It's going to be really weird if we start hearing me listening to the recording on this recording, and then I play that recording. Like, oh man, that's just Hall of Mirrors, and since none of us are vampires, that actually will mess with us.
Yeah,
a vampire goes into one of those, just like I don't see anything.
Yeah, one game I watched, I put the Fangs of Fire game on because the other game had nothing going on. You could hear Scot-sword talking during my own live stream. That was fun.
Oh yeah, that was really weird watching yours live stream back, and I was hearing my own voice. I was like, "Oh, what is going on here?" Yeah. So yeah, if you're saying that the audio quality is fine, then I guess we can start. Then, if that's the case.
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
Cool.
Just know I got to run at like 3:20. Sorry, in 2 hours from now, I have to jet because I have a job.
Oh.
So it's
good.
All right, we can start whenever.
Yep, yeah. I told them they can start. So, and I'll do my intro, and then we can get into it. And when the first week is going on, we can kind of discuss permutations of the group and all this sort of stuff, because this critical match doesn't put it mildly.
Yep.
Right, going in now. Okay. Nobody in the live stream yet, but I'll just do the intro anyway for people doing or watching this post game. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the League of Dracula. This is a match from the first stage, Group C, between who is Hunters. Fangs of Fire is the Hunters, and Mistergreen is Dracula. I'll give them a good luck both in the chat. Strider's just been into the live chat. I'm here, and not only that, Strider is in the commentary booth. Hi, Strider.
Hi, how you doing? Good, glad to be here.
And good to have you back as well. And also we've got in the commentary booth, making his first appearance on the channel during this League of Dracula season, we've got Quincy Morris. Hello, Quincy.
Hey, I'm here. I got tired of my videos not doing very well, so I figured I'd hijack some of Scot-swords. And that way I can gain all my fame. Ah, ha, ha.
Says the one who's got like triple the subscriber count as me.
Oh, well, that's just because I've been around longer. You've been making a lot of really good videos, and I've been really enjoying watching them.
Oh, thank you very much. So yeah, this is a very. I mean, all the matches, you know, are important, especially at this late stage. But
hired scouts.
Alone in Brussels.
No Amsterdam start then. From Mistergreen.
Yeah, I think maybe I did 2 Amsterdam starts in my last 2 Dracula games, and so I think people. Because people, of course, always do things based on what I say the meta is, are starting to be maybe more afraid of that, and they're checking that more. Or it's just, I mean, it's good to check.
But there's something I was noticing in some of the other games was the whole dark call meta is now coming back. When, you know, at least on my videos and things, I've been talking quite a lot about, well, dark call's not very good because of encounter economy. But then people just like, nah, we're using dark call anyway. I was like, okay, I love it. I think it's really cool. Like people are just, you know, kind of going on their own sort of path through everything.
Yeah, do you think people are doing that because they're trying to dig for protection cards to do a hide trick on week 1? Or are they doing it just because they want to more consistently draw vampires?
I guess that's why I would do it. If there's only one reason to use Dark Call is to give you the cards that you want, it doesn't improve encounter economy, but if it gives you the fog that you need, or the spy that you need, or fighting vampires, or whatever it is you need, then maybe it's worth it. But is it worth 2 damage? That's, you know, a whole different story.
Right, yeah. The other advantage that Dark Call gives is that it puts fewer locations on the trail, so it makes you a little less likely to get grabbed by those hired scouts or those allies that pop out. Because if there are fewer locations on the board for you to be found on, then that's good. Although later in the game, when you are moving and hunters are chasing you and trying to walk into your trail, sometimes that can have a reverse obfuscation effect. I think I talk about this in my video on powers, but it is interesting how sometimes doing a dark call de-obfuscates and sometimes it obfuscates. Or I guess
depends on just when the hunters bump into your trail and how it's discovered and all that sort of thing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Before we get further, I'll just quickly tell you all the permutations of the group so we know what's at stake here. What's at stake?
We did the one. We did it, guys. We did the one version of that joke. We don't have to do it anymore. That's our quota. We have to do that. We're required. It's an OSHA rule.
So in Group C, I can confirm now with all some of the other little bit of tournament organizer privilege. I can see the results because Peter's organized all the tables. I can see all the results. Edward Scissorhands has qualified in first place from this group. That is now no question about it. JB Philly is in second place with 5 wins out of his 8 matches. So he's played all his matches already. He's off wandering, like doing very Bill Bryson style, walking through the woods somewhere and just forgetting about Fury of Dracula for a week. So Mistergreen and Fangs of Fire are currently 3 wins out of their 6 matches. So they're both on equal win records. But Mistergreen has a superior IDS. He is 20 positive IDS accumulated, while Fangs of Fire is negative 13. So they've only got 2 matches left, one of which is this one that we're watching, and then they've got another one each. So there's a lot of things that could happen here. I mean, I've been trying to do the maths while I've been doing other stuff today, and I feel like whoever wins this match is going to qualify, and the other one is not. Oh, jeez, all the
while you were talking, 2 evil presents, 1 local rumor is coming out early, which you just hate to see. You'd much rather be drawing planned ambush or renewed vigor, consecrated ground, money trail, like literally anything but those. Like those aren't bad events, but getting them this early in the game is just really, you hate to see it.
So basically what can happen, I'll try and go through the permutations without making it too complex. So if Mr. Green wins here, even if he loses his final match and Fangs of Fire wins his with like maximum IDS swing, and they finish on 4 wins out of 8 matches, Mistergreen's IDS will always be superior because he's just got that over 30-point lead at the moment. So if Mistergreen wins this, he knows he's in the second stage for certain. If Fangs of Fire wins, then there is a chance that Mistergreen can still qualify, but he would have to beat Edward Scissorhands, who's the first place player in his final game, and Fangs of Fire would have to lose to Reckoner, but Reckoner is currently the last place player in the group. So even though that's not impossible to happen, odds are, Fangs of Fire will then finish above Mistergreen. So pretty much this is the match that's going to decide. There is also a thing here, like JB Philly is sitting, he's walking through the woods, he's not watching this live stream. If Mistergreen wins his remaining 2 matches, with enough IDS swing, he can catch JB Philly. JB Philly's currently 16 IDS ahead of him.
Yeah, it can be hard for a newer or a lower ranked person to beat someone in the first place. Strider, do you know anything about someone beating a higher ranked person who's like new and lower ranked? Have you experienced that happen anytime in your experience playing Fury of Dracula?
No, I have no idea what that's like.
Yeah, like we said, very rare. It doesn't really happen. Yeah.
No, absolutely not. No, the seeded players always win their matches. Absolutely, yeah. So there's a lot on the line.
To be fair, I had different goals when I played the tournament. My goal was just to win a game. That was it. I didn't really care about winning.
That's try to win some games. I like to just think about the next game. I got to win this game. And maybe I can, and then if I'm going to win, maybe I can try to have a high IDS on it. That's how I think about it.
Yeah, the wins are the most important, ultimately. The IDS is just a secondary thing, but then there's a situation like this where you've got 2 players who are potentially going to be finishing tied on wins. That IDS is going to matter.
Right.
And it's just, Mistergreen has lost his games narrowly, but had quite big IDS victories, whereas for Fangs of Fire has been the reverse. So that's why you've got this sort of disparity in IDS. And it's just large enough that we can make these predictions, a little bit more clearly. If they were less than 30 points difference in terms of IDS, then it'd be a lot more uncertain about what could happen. So yeah, that's the situation. But, as you said, a lot of play immediately events out, which is not really what you want early doors. I mean, 1 evil presence is okay, but not local rumors and then a second evil presence. That's a bit unfortunate.
Even drawing hired scouts on day 2, you really don't want. You want to have hired scouts out when there's a whole trail of places to guess. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's at least useful, unlike evil presence and local rumors, which in some ways is completely useless drawing that early. Literally, I would rather draw a blood transfusion. Because at least then the local rumors and evil presence are in the deck and I can use them later, theoretically.
Where do you think Mistergreen started?
I think I'm gonna say I think Baltica. Not based on really anything, but that in my experience, I think Mistergreen likes a lot of the more traditional setups. And Baltica's pretty traditional against this move. And while Germany, you may think Germany is a good setup, but of course the hired scouts kind of revealed that he wasn't doing an Amsterdam thing. Germany, I feel like, is a little bit of a trap with this. Of course, I say that, and I actually really like Amsterdam starts against this setup. Of course, now that I've said that, I'll never do one again. But, or will I? Italy is also a good... although, speaking of Italy, there's a lot of interesting ideas on where you start in Italy. You start near the hunters and move away. Do you start in Bari, but then you have to move towards them, and then you try to wolf form past them? Oh, here we go.
There we go. Naples.
Well, look at that. Look at that.
And it looks like he is doing the Bari thing.
No rumor token though, which is if you're starting in extremity, surely you force down the rumor token because it's more likely to mature. Then I'm really surprised.
Which suggests that he didn't.
It's a hoax.
He didn't get a vampire on his first turn. Or maybe it's a hoax. That could be good.
Yeah, could well be. I was also going to say, Mistergreen has done some shenanigans against me in Germany where he's just rung rings around me and I've just never caught him. Because there's so many ways in and out and just you can double back.
Central Europe is hard. It's hard.
He does like a double back.
I've often said that Central Europe is what I have the most trouble with dealing with.
Oh yeah, that's right. Fangs of Fire is doing my setup. He normally has a split setup where Mina's in Milan. I didn't even clock that.
I did.
Yeah, he's doing your setup. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, well that's kind of interesting that Fangs changed it up for this. Interesting.
So Fangs beat JB Philly twice, back to back.
And JB Philly beat Mistergreen twice.
Oh yeah, there we go. This will be an interesting game then. Did Fangs win as hunters besides that before?
I don't know. I haven't. I'm not sure actually. I'll have to have a look. I'm not certain. I can't get the spreadsheet very well up on my phone. I'll have to leave it, I'm afraid. But maybe not. I'm not certain. I reckon he's.
Oh, he's moving already.
Oh, Mina's moving. Going
Interesting.
back to her. There's the Fangs start.
So I'm guessing. So either what's going on is that Mistergreen is hiding in Rome, which is a little interesting, or he's in Venice or Florence. Or he misdirected Rome and then went to Bari. These are all things that could happen. The Bari move actually sounds a little more safe.
He could be hiding in Bari. Maybe he's put like a delay encounter in Rome, so he can like punt, with bats or something. He can punt Mina backwards. And then it's Naples that then matures, but then I don't know, just the timing of that. It's just I don't know if that's going to work out for him.
Yeah, he might not have the timing to make that work. Overall, that's still pretty good because it delays movement a lot, and generally hunters don't want to be committing 2 hunters to Italy. Committing 2 hunters to England or Baltica, Austria-Hungary, that area is fine. But when it comes to Italy, you kind of only want to commit 1. And so, and part of that is because of the slowness of the ocean travel. And so having a bunch of delaying encounters actually can be good.
But if it is in Bari, for example, and he keeps Gadami in Vienna, it makes the east a little bit less tempting for Dracula. He might go for it anyway. That's another move. So maybe that's him moving to Venice.
So he didn't do Bari, yeah. He could be right next to the hunters right now, and he's waiting until they find him, which I actually really like because a week 1 fight can be really good for Dracula. Because usually the hunters don't have. Usually they're sitting on horses and stakes, and again you can escape on that second round of combat. Now, Sister Agatha changes that actually quite a bit, and we're maybe going to see why an early Sister Agatha can be really strong. Because Sister Agatha helps with a lot.
Escape is bad, right.
Right, all of the escapes.
Yeah.
So, and since you tend to see escapes earlier, there's this idea that Jonathan is good in week 1, Rufus Smith is good in week 2, and Sister Agatha is good in week 3. Actually, Sister Agatha is also quite good in week 1 as well. It's more complicated than just, these are good earlier, these are good later.
Oh, no fog.
Double bodyguards and.
I'm guessing you hit that vamp.
We hit the vampire.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah,
right?
You gotta hit that vamp. Yeah.
There's a stake in the discard pile as well, by the way.
Oh yeah, then you definitely. I mean, you yeah.
Oh,
sense of emergency. Wow, he's afraid. He thinks it's a hoax. He thinks that's Bari. That's a hoax.
Yeah.
Or there's delay encounters as he tries to move normally, he's going to get battered away
that
or
still
whatever.
Seems odd to me, because it's not like it was about to mature.
But if he got hit by bats in Rome, say, he's not...
misplay. I think he could have railed past it and gone to, Naples. I don't know.
No, I don't think so. If it was anything like a fog or bats in Rome, then he wouldn't make it to Bari in time.
It's true.
So I don't mind it. I mean, I don't know. If it's a hoax, then I think it's justified. If it's something like a weaker encounter, like a bodyguard or something, the bodyguards are both there, or a spy or something like. Then, if it's for a rumor token or a hoax, then I understand it. I think it's okay.
Yeah, I would do that for a rumor token. I don't know if I would do it for a hoax. And part of that's the way I see it. Hoaxes are bad. But, what's the worst thing that a hoax can get you? Okay, Darkness Returns or an Unearthly
Who called
Swift.
it? I did.
It is a hoax.
Was it?
The same.
And that essentially gives Dracula 4 more day actions. It's like, okay, how much does 7 points give you? Well, more than that. So I would do it for a rumored vampire. But it works out in this regard. Oh, she used a stake on that.
Yeah, she did.
She did use a stake.
It's a waste of a
Yeah.
stake. 2 in the discard. All 4 dogs are gone too. Sorry,
I'm kind of surprised about the fact that she used sense of emergency to get there in time. She could take the delay and then still get to Naples in time. So
and she's full health, so it's not like she's afraid of, oh, surprise, it was a vampire the whole time. She's not going to die to that. You know, she's going to be able to escape and then stake it later.
Oh yeah, so she's now down an item because of the stake. Yeah. Well, I don't know. But then I guess the thing with like a Dark's Returns or Unearthly Swiftness is if the hunters are closing in on you and you use it to get out, and they can't play their big power play cards like a Renewed Vigor or something because you've gone out of their net or whatever, then it might be worth it.
That's true. Unearthly Swiftness is worth a little bit more than just the 4-day actions because it's, you can force a mature. So it is a little more complicated than just the 4-day actions. That's a good point. I think maybe one of the reasons he might have used the stake here is because he was able to snipe that vampire with Behind the Veil, and so he's sort of thinking, "No, I'm sort of ahead the economy," and I saw his hand didn't have any vampires in it, so it seems to me that maybe he doesn't have a lot of vampires on the trail. There's a lot of vampires on the deck.
Yeah, he does have double bodyguards.
Yeah, that's certainly possible. Yeah.
It could also be the case that we have 4 vampires on the trail. I mean, it isn't. If there were, he would throw down rumor tokens. And I think that's the other thing making Fangs of Fire think, I'm not dealing with a lot of vampires right now. I'm not seeing any rumor tokens. I was able to snipe 1 from his hand. This is a light vampire trail. Maybe it isn't, but that's the evidence, I think, that's making Fangs of Fire play the way that he is right now.
There's then a risk that then Mistergreen saved up that rumor token. He could throw down 2 rumor tokens, middle of week 2. And then the Huns are suddenly caught in this awkward situation where they've got no stakes. They might be in an awkward bit, depending on where he's placing them. If it's in the east, as an example, I'm not saying he's going east, but a place where it's awkward to supply, they might not be able to deal with those rumor tokens efficiently, rather than using one at the start where it just gets taken immediately. It just depends. I see merits to both.
I'm just trying to do the math to figure out where Drac is right now.
He was definitely.
Go ahead.
He definitely went to Venice because Mina was blocking Genoa, unless he's hidden somewhere, and now he's in Genoa. I think he went to Venice. He's maybe in, is that Milan? 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe he's in Milan now, or maybe he's gone down to Genoa now. Ooh.
That'll help.
That will help, and it makes Behind the Veil weaker now because all of that is.
Hey, sorry about that. I'm back.
Happened? Oh, no problem. Now he's got a lot less information about what Dracula's holding on to.
And now Drac can go to sea, and he could wolf form to a port, then go to sea, and then land and get all his health back. Because he's not getting rid of the desecrated.
Yeah, and that's not a bad move necessarily. Although using a wolf form this early, I mean, I'm a fan of it personally.
Yeah.
And although there is something to be said for saving it, I think maybe he was expecting to get into a fight by now, and the desecrated soil would heal him back up from that. There is, of course, a chance that Mina supplies gets a heavenly host and then takes it out, but that's unlikely.
But then the question is, would you do that to give Dracula another 3 encounter cards and allow him to get 3 out of his hand? Is that worth it?
Not knowing. Well, I would do the supply anyway, but not knowing if he was actually going to go to sea. I think maybe I wouldn't, because given it right now, if I were the hunters, I'd be like, man, Dracula's obfuscated quite a bit right now. Him going to sea would be kind of good for me. So I would supply, but if he didn't go to sea, well, the thing is, we don't know if he's going to sea right now, so I guess I wouldn't.
Right.
The only ports that Dracula is realistically going to be going to are very easy to check. Marseille, Seward's within touching distance of that. Godalming can check Venice and Genoa. It's not as if he's wolf formed, say, from Nuremberg, and you don't know, is it Hamburg or is it Venice? Opposite sides of the board.
Right.
And it's going to take time to work that out.
You're going to find that really fast. Dracula doesn't have any points. Well, I wouldn't check a point yet. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it yet. Now this move makes sense. Yeah.
He was fast.
Was he? He was in Munich, right?
Godalming's in Munich right now.
Yeah,
so Dracula can now be in 60. He could be in 36.
Yeah, that's narrowed him down quite a bit. I'm guessing he's in 36. So if I were Seward, depending on his hand, I would consider going to 36 right now, which it looks like that's what he's doing.
But then if Dracula can wolf form out of this, he's going to have a lot of places to... Oh, wait, he's not there.
Oh, he's not? Yeah. Yeah, but with Sister Agatha and Seward, of course it depends on what Seward has, but like I would take that, especially since it's now week 2. I would take that fight.
Godalming. Van Helsing's out of retirement now. leaving
he's on his
London,
way.
his London home. It's my own story that I have for him.
I think Dracula might be hiding in Genoa.
He could be. Yeah, that is indeed
often Genoa's skipped over when you're moving. Would that mean that that he was in he was in Venice, and then immediately when Mina moved out with the surprising return, he went to Genoa, which also makes a lot of sense.
Oh, another stake.
So Godalming has that stake. This is actually pretty good because it means Dracula's not maturing a vampire in Italy. Barring something crazy going on. It
also means like Dracula now, if he's in say Zurich, he could try to look to get into Munich or wolf form east, and then the one who's closest is Godalming, and he's only got one combat item because he's got a horse and he's got a stake. So Godalming isn't too much of a threat to Dracula right now.
Yeah.
Should more
wolf
so
form right now would
be
really strong.
Hi Gyro. Charge your phone, for heaven's sake. He's watching the stream with 3% battery life.
Oh my.
Committed to
living on the edge, like a true Dracula player. I can feed later, dang it. Yeah, I think either we see a wolf form or an ocean move this turn.
Because if he's in Genoa, he'll never move to Milan. That's so risky. He could try and take advantage. Oh, yeah, because he can't hide now. Imagine if he was able to stay in Genoa one more turn, and then if the Hunters move past to try to get to Zurich or whatever, he can then sneak into Marseille.
Well, we don't know that he's hit.
How's he coming in?
Right?
No, we're just hypothesizing. No, he hasn't.
It seems likely that he has. Wait a minute.
But he could be in 62. Unless... Oh, there's the wolf form. Okay. Unless he could also be wolf forming out of Genoa, but that's not as strong. So...
Yeah, that's... In fact, I would say that's quite weak. I guess you could go to 54. That's pretty good.
But it's just so easy that it gets checked, though, because it's the furthest west. Like, so it's going to check that first, surely.
Well, but only if he assumes he's in Genoa. That's the thing. If I were Seward, actually, would probably go up to 60, either to learn if he left from there or went to there. That would actually be, I think, what I check. Ooh, Speedy Telegraph. Interesting.
Mina has to deal with Rome, otherwise it's going to mature. So...
Or, yeah, I was assuming Godalming was going to deal with it.
But if he wants to check where Dracula's gone, Godalming can't commit down into the boot. He kind of needs to stay where he is. He doesn't want to keep committing further down this way.
It feels a little weird. Like, of course, I mean, he knew Rome was there. So far, Speedy Telegraph hasn't provided anything.
Yeah, I don't use speed telegraph like this if I wanted to like supply with Mina to get maybe a hide scouts before everybody else moves. But the fact she has to deal with Rome, she can't do that.
Right. I would have not speedy telegraphed, and I would have just moved Godalming to Milan, and that provides a lot of information as to where Dracula left from.
Yeah, I agree. Because if he's gone to Milan, then you know. He left. Oh, he's moving Seward first. Interesting. Well, okay. I guess
that's not bad. It may be that Mina has a stake, and so he doesn't think Godalming needs to deal with Italy, and so he's going to have Godalming be on Dracula checking, which makes me think right now he's going to try to fast horse to 59, and I think there's a good chance that Dracula's there.
I think we might catch Dracula right now.
For But he's got a bad
I know he's got. I know he's got 3 events, but yeah, exactly. He's not really tooled up for unless he's got heroic leap. But then he's on 8 health.
Yeah. Oh no, I would still heroic leap.
Oh,
what? Oh, they need to trade horses. Man, this is not a strong speedy telegraph. You hate to see it. But yeah, that strikes me as Godalming is sitting on 2 horses.
Maybe Godalming wants to heal, and then Stewart will trade.
That would be the more efficient way of doing it.
Oh, but Godalming's now traded. Oh no, they're doing speedy telegraphs, so we don't know which order they're doing it in.
Oh, that's true.
We'll have to wait.
In fact, I think
I agree. Not
doing it.
Not the strongest speedy telegraph, but
yeah, I don't really know the point of doing that. Maybe it was to get Seward to go before Godalming.
No, that was Godalming's action.
Wow. Yeah, when I made my guide on the speedy telegraph, I was like, it's kind of okay. Use it when you can. The more I play, I'm like, no, speedy telegraph's actually, like I said, that sometimes it can win you games. I would say it's a little more consistent than that. It actually very consistently can get you very large value if you wait to use speedy telegraph. Because if you're supplying, like, a speedy telegraph renewed vigor is so good, speedy telegraph hypnosis is so good, that's 3 cards. Speedy telegraph money trail is so good. That's a lot of cards. The chances of you getting a combo with speedy telegraph is like the chances of you not getting some cool combo to use with speedy telegraph, that is what's super rare.
The ones I really like is when you use Van Helsing first to trade something, like an excellent weather to somebody, and then the other hunter goes off and catches on, jumps on Dracula's space.
All right, so it looks like 20 is going to mature.
Not unless they do something about it, which I might risk. I might risk doing that because it's not going to reset the wolf form. It's not rumored, and we've already seen a hoax. So maybe it's something bad, but occasionally you got to risk it.
I think it's a
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm trying to remember when he got the behind the veil. Was Yordi in Florence at that point? I can't quite remember. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a bat, to be honest. If the timing of behind the veil was that he was placing that, then yeah, probably his bodyguards. But if he had bats in hand, then maybe he put the bats down. I just can't remember where Dracula was when behind the veil was played.
Yeah, often bats is put in Florence. So I think it's not a big risk to let this mature. Because the potential downside is not super high, and the chances of those downs, like the worst thing would be a hoax. But it is.
Oh wait, I must have missed that. Zurich got cleared. What was in Zurich?
Bodyguards. One of the bodyguards.
Oh yeah. Right, so that's one of them. Okay, so
2 of them.
Maybe got the bodyguards in Milan. Maybe just threw down both of them in a row. Yeah, I think I've come into the opinion that Speed Telegraph is probably the most misused card.
Yeah.
It's so easy just to throw and go, I'll just use this. Yeah. Without actually thinking about the combos you can do with it.
Right. You have to be like, it is so important for like Van Helsing to go first here that it's worth it. Okay, he's cleaning up the trail. That's fine.
Would have been better if he had healed yesterday.
Yeah, maybe that stake to Seward for some reason. Like, I mean, he's not going to get what's in front.
I guess he did it so then he, instead of trading and healing, he decided to trade and then.
Oh, he didn't. He didn't go to 59.
Check Zurich. I guess he realized that getting rid of Zurich was more time efficient for him, and he can just heal with Godalming on the move.
That's where I would have checked. Oh yeah, he's not in 59. North Europe makes sense to me.
Or he could, if he's been sneaky. Oh, there's the second bodyguards. So he did throw down both in a row. Pistol.
He's got a pistol, a horse, and a stake.
Well, we don't know that because they traded. Maybe the stake got given to Sewers. They got better combat strength now. They're more balanced. We don't know until we get into combat. We're not sure. Oh wait, did he show the stake? Sorry, I must have missed it.
He did show the stake. Seward has a stake.
Oh right, okay, fine. So it could also be Toulouse though, or Clermont-Ferrand. He's now making his way into Spain.
Yeah, there's unfortunately a lot of places that the hunters need to check, and Mina is not where you need her to be. You would love for Mina and Godalming to have switched places.
Well, it won't
because
be a
then you can meet
bodyguard
up.
mature.
We're gonna get something.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think it might be a bats or something. Could be a vamp. I mean,
And if
but I don't think it
Could
is.
And if it is a bat, then Mina can't get out. She's going to have to rail her way out. And depending on ticket economy, you might not want to do that. So you might have to step on Florence. And then if it's bats...
Well, hold on.
Yeah, that's not
Railing
ideal.
her way out would require the spending of a yellow 2, which you actually kind of want to do anyway, if you're working on horse economy.
But does she have one? Does she have one?
That's
the question.
Yeah,
if
she
he's,
may not
if he's,
be able to. She may have to go to Florence. In which case,
Yeah.
you want to have her to go to the Tyrrhenian. It's like, to hell with Florence. I'm just bypassing it entirely. We're taking the ocean route.
might be quicker, yeah. She's got good luck. That's her only event, so...
Oh,
Shoot's
you
got
layered
no
it.
events.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've only got 5 events between them.
Yeah, that's... Okay, Godalming's supplying, which makes sense because he's going to want to heal next turn.
And also potentially, obfuscate what items he's got as well.
Right, and
but then
since
you'll
it's
see
cleared
from
the-
the discard pile.
Maybe we'll get a newspaper.
Yeah, and since
report
Fangs
or
of Fire has
something.
cleared the trail a whole lot, he's not really like, oh man, I really got to jump on Dracula right now. He's like, no, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to work on my combos. I'm going to clear these trails. Dracula has 0 points. I'm not in a rush.
Do you check 11 with
Not
Or
11, no, I
58?
check 58. Because
Yeah.
if you check 58 and it's like, okay, Dracula went this way, then it's like, great. Mina can go to Bari, Godalming can go to 59. But if you check 11 and he's not there, it's like, great, I moved away from him. Yeah, you check 58.
Okay, he went west or north potentially.
Right.
He could have gone north, right?
Yeah.
He could have still got north, yeah,
think
to
north
like
even-
Leipzig, 21. Just FYI, the pistol got discarded. Well, a pistol, it might not be the same pistol, and there's also a Heavenly Host in the discard pile.
All
Were they
right, Mina, do
supplying
you have a
Trinifan
rail
report?
ticket? Jump over.
And
Oh,
ano-
she's just sticking
and another-
around.
No, she's supplying.
And another stake, 3 stakes in the discard. Oh,
There's Rufus.
well,
Do
that's
you use
handy
that
to
for
search.
search
I
option?
would take it. I would. Ooh, this is hard. What would you do here, Scot-sword? What would you do?
Search
If
I would
15.
search.
yeah.
Unless you got yeah. Oh, okay, check.
good.
I would have done that too. I would have
that's
checked
really
extremity.
good. Yeah, that's because like Dracula kind of has to go through Toulouse. Oh wow, he really wants to know. Unless he's pulling him.
So I check that. I check then
Searching again.
15
Yeah.
because if it's not 15, then you know it can't be west. It's impossible. Oh,
Yeah. Okay. So he's got to be north. Now,
Yeah.
Dracula wants to misdirect his number 2 location.
Get like a poor man's wolf form, I call it.
Right.
We call
yeah.
it Teen Wolf.
No,
what
well,
Teen
only,
Wolf
no. Teen Wolf is only when it's week 1. This is now week 2, so this is just using misdirect as it's intended.
Okay.
Unless it's a very strong encounter, and he wants to delay the hunters by them having to deal with the encounter and not the fact that it makes it
Man,
more
I
difficult
just
for him to
like
be
even if
found.
that's a strong encounter. I mean, it's a vampire. You feel like an idiot to have to misdirect it, but basically, in this situation, you want to have not put a vampire in that spot. You want to maybe put a vampire in where you wolf form to. But yeah, I would put maybe you gotta misdirect it. But it looks like
Is
he is.
Rufus Smith impossible to get now? They've used 2 surprising returns.
No,
Or
there's
is
one
it-
surprising return. They only used one surprising return. They used Rufus Smith innately to search, and then they used one surprising return to pull him back. So there is another surprising return they could use to pull him back for ocean travel.
This is also really good for Dracula because he's seeing like surprising return got played. That's they were holding on to that, but that's
Yeah.
only a surprising return. It's not a renewed vigor kind of thing or a
Right.
consecrated ground. It's one event. I know they've been supplying a lot, yesterday, but still,
Right.
Yeah,
I don't think we
Surprising
saw a prompt
return,
for Fangs
really
of Fire
good.
here either.
yeah.
There was no prompt between the Dracula phase, which means I don't think they have a renewed
No.
vigor yet. Unless
Also,
I missed
if
it.
There's gonna be
Dracula-
no renewed vigor.
if Dracula's in like northern Germany, he's actually in a lot of trouble right now because like he can't go east, and he's gonna have trouble if he goes west. He's sort of being forced to go to the sea, which you kind of don't want to do as Dracula right now because you're like, I'm pretty well obfuscated. I don't want to give him free information and free damage. I'd like to stay on land, but I kind of don't have anywhere I can go.
Dominic supplying.
Yeah, this is interesting.
There's more.
Fangs of Fire is essentially treating this like Pirate Dracula. He's basically saying, I don't know where Dracula is, so if I move my hunters, there's a good chance I'm going to be moving them away from Dracula. And so I'm going to play like... Hunters. Yeah. See, just like I said, he's boxed in. But now that he's been discovered, now that he's going, uh-oh, now he wants to go to sea. Because then the hunters have to decide, oh, dang it, we have to head off Dracula, Van Helsing has to go to the UK, and now we have to send these people to deal with these encounters, because we have a protected vampire in Prague, but surely Seward can take care of that. I'm in Spain, I promise. Well, he says sweet draw, but, like, he earned that by spending a lot of actions day supplying.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't know if it's a vampire in Prague, but he's going to have to start throwing them down eventually. I know one of them got tamed behind the veil, but he's eventually going to have to start throwing down vampires. Unless he's just going to go to the UK and he's just going to leave a massive long line of them, which is going to be impossible to stop.
It definitely seems like Prague has a vampire. Generally speaking, when Dracula wolf forms while they're obfuscated, while he is obfuscated, he'll put down a vampire. Oh, he's skipping it. Wow, really? He wants Dracula. Yeah, he's like, I don't care about your non-rumor tokened vampire. I'm going to try to kill Dracula. Oh, there's a vampire.
There's a vampire.
Okay, maybe Prague isn't one. Maybe if there's another one after it. But man, it just... Although he might have hidden Prague just because he's like, I don't want to go south to, what is that, Vienna? Because that's such a high traffic zone.
Yeah.
Prague is actually surprisingly low traffic in terms of hunters actually going there. So often they go over it, like what Seward just did.
But it's incredibly risky because if you get caught there, there's the risk of obviously the consecrated ground.
Right.
There's a heavy host of disco bell. Or if Seward realizes it in time, Seward can block Vienna. And if Van Helsing came across to block the north, then Dracula's going to get forced into hunters, and that's not what you want.
He's showing a rifle.
I can't believe that.
That's interesting. See, I would think he'd like, I'm going to let Mina deal with this vampire. I'm getting out of here.
He's got something. He's got a horse, rifle.
Man, giving him free info seems.
Oh, I have 5.
There he goes.
All right. Well, he gets out.
Goodbye.
But so he's got one other combat item, and then something that cannot be played in combat. So maybe
it could be a holy bullets. But like,
or stake.
No, there's no way. You don't open holy bullets against a full house new vampire. No. That's a horrible idea. You get that vampire down to 1, and it's like, okay, he now knows what your one combat item is, and your other item was not a combat item. Can you do the 1 damage? Nah, you use holy bullets either against Dracula or when it's a killing blow.
Alright, he's at 7 or 30. But he just checked.
He could have gone back to 30, the fact that 30 got checked, or he's in 27.
He's got to be in 27. Given the state of the board, I can't. Unless he really thinks that he can go to 30 and then go to 27 and rely on fog, but you can't rely on fog as Dracula.
And Mina jumped the lair, by the way. She took it. Was it a train?
That's good for her. Yeah,
that was well done.
No need to deal with them bats.
Oh, so that vampire's dealt with, but what happens if there is now a vampire in Prague? They're going to have real difficulty dealing with it, but there's no rumor token, so maybe they'll just let it mature.
Yeah, I think you just let it mature. And I think his idea is like, all right, I'm going to make the bet that you thought that you could put a rumor token on the one in Berlin and that you had some sort of trap in Prague, and that trap was actually going to protect the vampire in Berlin.
Yeah. Drac has to go to sea here, or he's screwed.
Or go to 27 and rely on fog. But if he goes to 27 and doesn't have fog, oh boy, that's going to be a 2v1 with Sister Agatha, and then he has to go to sea afterwards. That'll be rough. That'll be rough for Dracula.
I mean, the good thing is between Seward and Van Helsing, they only have 1 event. What are the odds that 1 event is forewarned?
Well, when one of those 2 people is Van Helsing, I would actually say somewhat high. Well, hold on. How much trading has Van Helsing done with events so far?
Not too much, I don't think.
Okay, so maybe not.
But also, if the Speedy Telegraph's been used up, then Seward cannot move in first. So if only Van Helsing moves in...
Is it
Van Helsing has the event.
Right, that's actually a huge problem because he's like, okay, I'll move into 27. If Seward comes in, I guarantee fog. And if Van Helsing comes in, then I have a 1v1 versus Van Helsing. And yeah, you have Sister Agatha to help you, but I'm actually not too scared about that. Or he just...
Obviously, if Van Helsing has a forewarned, then that's a forewarned, but that doesn't help him in combat. It's not a heroic leap or a planned ambush or something like that.
At that point, it almost feels like you burned a forewarned on a fog that wasn't doing very much. The fog doesn't actually even need to... yeah, I think he's moving to 27.
Yeah. Oh, and there's no way he's moving from 27 to Leipzig.
And moving to like 41 or 21.
No, like, I mean, he could be. Because he checked Leipzig with surprising return, so then he's like, oh, I'll move to Leipzig now because I wasn't in Leipzig, so why would they move to Leipzig?
So
like that can work for a turn, and you can hide from the hunters for a turn, and that can work. So like if Wolf Form was off cooldown, I'd be like, yeah, do that. But
yeah,
man,
he has gone through all of his encounters. He only has 2 left, so he probably does have a fog.
Yeah. It would be a very specific circumstance for him to not have any fog. It would have to be both of those fogs, which you hate.
Be really careful because if he is moving inland, I know he can do some maneuvers and the hunters, but if the hunters bump into him, he's within, touching distance of all 4 hunters if they have the right events and movement to get there. Yeah. This is actually really scary if he's doing that.
Yeah, this is really scary for Dracula. Because, like, Godalming, I'm guessing, is going up to 41, which he needs to go to anyway, just to be on there. And he might just... Okay, yeah.
Nope, not there. Go fish.
I mean, you gotta go to 27. Because if he's not in 27, it's like, oh no, we didn't catch Dracula. But he's hosed. I mean, that's... Yeah, if you go to 27 and he's not there, that's almost better than going to 27 and him being there.
Well, the fact he staked the vampire in Berlin tells us that Seward has a rifle and something else. He doesn't have holy bullets.
No.
Oh no, we don't. No, we don't know that he doesn't have holy bullets. Remember, his gun was canceled, so we never got to see the prompt.
No, but I counted the cards from the combat information screen, so I know he doesn't have holy bullets because he revealed the stake. Oh,
I see. Oh wow, man, no, that was a bad no. Go to like I said, going to 27. If Dracula's not there, that's the best situation. If he is there, that's a good situation. If you get fogged, okay, you burned a fog, and now you can clear his trail and get him that next time. And doing that means that, okay, Van Helsing's job is now get to the UK as fast as possible. And then he horses over to 20... Well, does Van Helsing have a horse? Do we know that? He might not. He might be able to rail over the Harv. That would be...
I don't think he does,
Oh,
I mean, he might have revealed it.
Wow. He's like, I don't have forewarned. I know Dracula's sitting on fog on 27, so I'm not going to have any part of that. I'm just going to leave it be.
Yeah. Which...
Makes a lot of sense. Oh. See, I wouldn't have done that.
Do with Prague?
That was a bad... I think that was a bad move. Well, unless he's trying to take care of Prague, which...
I think he is, but if there's a
2 encounters,
Saboteur, if there's a
or Bats, yeah.
If there's a bodyguard and she doesn't have a gun,
both bodyguards got used. It could be double vampire as well, which is going to be very hard for her to deal with on her own and could give him lots of restless vampire points.
All 4 stakes have been used.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's going to be very. She can't deal with that on her own unless she gets incredibly lucky in combat.
I think it's better to keep her in Genoa because. Dracula's going to be going to sea, and once Dracula's at sea, he's kind of like, where do I want to go? I don't know where the hunter's at. And if he's moving his hunters over here, he's like, okay, Western Europe it is. Or it's better to just keep her in place and supply, let whatever's in Prague mature. Yeah, I think it was a mistake to move to 58.
C. He's going to go to C here, right? Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he was in Hamburg all this time. So he went Leipzig, Hamburg... Yeah, because there's no hides, there's no possibility. I mean, the good thing for Dracula here is that the hunters have very few events, so the risk of, double excellent weather or, he's not going to be as threatened as much.
Right, which is why I really wish Mina had supplied in Genoa instead of moving. So right now, the question is, who do you have supply and who do you have move?
You have Seward supply, right? But he's got a fast horse, though.
Yeah, and the problem is that Godalming and Seward are in small cities, and they're not really well positioned to be able to then go to the UK if they have to, or to check coast.
Gotta be fog.
Maybe he has 4.
Yeah, but it's like it's the fastest route to the ocean. I didn't. Well, yeah, but if it's fog, he doesn't. Although, if I was Dracula, I actually would here, because I am going to assume that the hunters think that's fog and won't search it, and will leave it alone. And so I'm going to be like, okay, I'll take the ambush with it.
Seward's
Because
Seward's going to do a prog.
Seward's dealing with Brock.
Ooh.
Okay, that's
Bats first.
But that means because now Mina can guarantee. Well, unless it's a vampire, Mina can guarantee to deal with prog now. There's no bats to protect.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard though. If it's, I mean, even if it's a reckless vampire, Mina has.
Yeah.
Well, she has a gun. She has a gun and holy bullets. Actually, she has a decent chance of taking it out.
1, 2. All 3 holy bullets in the discard pile, so that's not an option.
Okay.
I agree with that move by Van Helsing to get him to the port.
I would prefer if he had a rail to get him to Le Havre, because you want to head off Dracula's location. Because right now, he can just land in 19, and since there aren't a whole lot of events in the deck, he actually might do that, because he's like, I don't think you have consecrated ground. I think I can land and get past Edinburgh and be fine. And then I can hang around in the UK for a long time, and then by the time you get here, I'm going to leave. Wolf form's going to be off cooldown, and then I get to move twice in wolf form and re-obfuscate. Which is why it's really important. Yeah, you really want to enter the UK from the direction that Dracula isn't entering from. So if Dracula moves again, then you have Van Helsing go to the North Sea. If he doesn't and he immediately lands, then you really want to. And I guess you go North Sea English Channel and then land. That's I don't know about that. I don't know. All right.
And again, same thing. If Van Helsing has excellent weather, for example, and he lands on top of Dracula in Edinburgh, then again, Dracula knows, oh, well, you've used up one of your 2 events. Yeah. How scary are you, Van Helsing? Not really.
Yeah, it's a 1v1. I mean, he does have Sister Agatha, and that's one of the reasons why Sister Agatha can be good. I would say with Sister Agatha, he's like medium scary, but he's not like super scary. Not like a 2v1 or a 1v1 a Seward at this point. Or even a 1v1 versus like Godalming.
He didn't surprising return Rufus Smith either.
Oh yeah, so he probably doesn't have it.
No.
Because you would, I think you would at this point. Oh, it's a hoax. Good.
Well, I mean,
going there.
I mean, good catch. I mean, we were saying that maybe that was there's a lot of Dracula cards in there. If he got like a summon Storms now and he just blocks off the whole UK, he could just do whatever he wants in terms of encounters, guarantee a 7-point mature potentially.
Yeah, she called his bluff there. I mean, if that was a vampire, that could have been really bad. Because she didn't have a which we knew, but yeah.
So I'd say Fangs actually made the right play there to deal with Prague. Yeah, even though it's very inefficient. Like now, Seward's out of position, Mina's now delayed, but yeah, Hoax could have been game changing.
Really good. How many?
He's got the experience to use them.
Is 30 attached to 44?
Yeah, there are 11 Dracula cards in the discard pile. That's like
it's not
half almost.
Because someone's got to clean 30 up too. Or do they? Can they let that mature at this point? Because they know it's not a hoax. Because there were 2 in the deck.
Oh, Dracula's moving again by sea. Really?
Well, Rufus Smith isn't in play.
I think he's maybe afraid of. I don't think it's a bad move.
North Atlantic.
I can understand landing. I think maybe and I can understand moving. I think they both have equal. There's an argument for both.
You also got wolf form back now, so we can wolf form onto land.
Well, that's true. Yes.
So he wants to move one of them to the North Sea, and one of them needs to land move. Presumably, you would have Godalming go to the North Sea, and then Van Helsing move by land, which is sort of why it would have been better for Van Helsing to move to 29.
So you'd be on the rail line, where now he's in Amsterdam off the rail line.
Right. It's not ideal. Yeah. So, and this is actually one of the interesting dichotomies between Amsterdam and Hamburg. Is like, well, which one's closer? Well, Hamburg's generally further away, but it has a rail line, and Amsterdam is sort of closer, but it is only attached by roads. So it's. Oh, I don't agree with this.
The problem with Hamburg is the rail line goes backwards. It goes via Berlin. It doesn't go directly to Cologne, which makes it somewhat inefficient, depending on what tickets you've got.
Right.
If you've got 3-2, you can get to Brussels, but a 2 rail to get to Cologne is terrible. You just walk, or not walk, but you go by carriage.
Right. You just go by carriage. Yeah. And it's intersections like that make the 3-2s so valuable.
Nice applying.
I just really feel here, if I was Dracula, I would land immediately, because if the more and more you're moving by sea, you're just encouraging the hunters. I know that a couple of them are delayed, but you're just encouraging the hunters to supply more, and that's not what you want. You've got the hunters in a position where they're not really well supplied in terms of events.
Mm-hmm.
You play the probability game; they don't have consecrated ground.
He shouldn't have gone to Leipzig. We said he shouldn't have gone to Leipzig.
That's
like, okay, maybe he has consecrated ground, maybe he has excellent weather, but he probably doesn't. You can't just play Dracula assuming the hunters have all the best cards. Just also, like, you can't really fight Dracula as hunters assuming Dracula has all of the cards that he wants to play, because he doesn't, and the hunters don't. Especially not with a deck this big, and he's not even halfway through the event deck. And even if there was one excellent weather, that's not scary. I mean, you can fight a hunter. You can fight a hunter 1v1 with a good encounter. Maybe like what did I say? 60% of the time, 65% of the time is Dracula. It comes out favorably for you, I think, in a 1v1.
I would say if the hunters had 13 events holding in their hands and they were supplying and still ditching events, then I'd be really scared about what the hunters have. But in this situation where they've had to burn so many Dracula cards and so many immediately played, and they've already used Surprise and Return, Sense of Emergency, then I would play the probability game. And if you get it wrong, then you get it wrong. But I would play the odd game that you play the odds that he doesn't have consecrated ground, land immediately to force the hunters to make it to really awkward decisions. Do I keep supplying, but Dracula's just laying a trail for free, or do I move after him and not supply? Right. If you're just going by sea a lot, you're just encouraging them to supply.
What Dracula's doing here is he's giving the hunters an excuse to just supply. Because if he had landed, I'd be thinking, oh snap, I gotta move these guys fast. I gotta get them into the middle of the board so they can head off where Dracula is. But if Dracula's still at sea, I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe I'll move a hunter or two, but the other ones are just gonna keep supplying up, getting events, digging for those things that I need.
The exception to the rule would be if he's deciding to wolf form here into Spain, because the hunters are just trapped on the eastern side of the board. Godalming's delayed, so he can't do much. Mina doesn't have the quickest move unless it's got chartered carriages. Van Helsing can't go onto the rail line until tomorrow. He's going to have time to do stuff in Spain. But
yeah, that's true. So you are going to need to move some hunters. You need a hunter in Paris. Depending on how many oceans move, you might need a hunter in Marseille. So that if he lands, you can deal with that. How far you move them? I don't know. That depends. Maybe you move them to Bordeaux. Do you move them further than that? I would say absolutely not. Because
if he's
I
don't know, if he goes into Spain, he might have enough time to lay down just enough encounters, and by the time the hunters are piling into Spain, he then leaves. And if he can time the oceans right, he can go in either direction out of Spain. And if they don't have a money trail, whatever, to find out where he goes after that, then they're in a real mess. And that'll be towards the end of the third week. And that's not what you want as the hunters. Yeah. You don't want to be, I have no idea where he is, as Fury of Dracula. Like,
that's why you really needed to move Godalming to the North Sea, because that's what forces Dracula to be like, ooh, okay, I need to be a little careful here about just ending up in UK, because Godalming's going to land in UK. If I land there, and then you position Van Helsing to deal with like Spain and France and that sort of thing, and then Mina and Seward, you have supply. Maybe move them a little bit over. Maybe move them to Munich, maybe to Berlin or Cologne if you have the rails for it, and then you have them keep supplying. You have Godalming dealing with the UK. You have Van Helsing sort of in that reserve spot in Paris to go where you need to. I love that
that Mistergreen's. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, I love that the rail line efficiency makes big cities like Paris so like important, and like they feel like important big zones to plan attacks from. Not because like the square is any different than any of the other squares, but because of how the connections work.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I was going to say, because Mr. Green went AFK for a couple of minutes. Predictions. What do you think Jack's going to do now? Is he going to wolf form somewhere, or is he going to move a third sea space? What do you think? Place your bets.
Wolf form to 47.
I don't think he wolf forms. I think he lands first. I think he lands and doesn't wolf form. Because why does he need to wolf form? He's already obfuscated really well.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, well.
Yeah, there it is. No, why do you need to wolf form now? You wait, and the hunters aren't anywhere near you. You don't need to obfuscate further.
Right.
In fact, if he's in North Atlantic, wolf forming gets you closer to the hunters. Unless you want to go to 47. But, like,
right.
Why do you need to?
Yeah, but then I guess if he wolf forms, I guess if he wolf forms to 47, the hunters will see the wolf form. It will scream 47 to them.
Yeah.
Whereas at this case, we're not quite sure where he is. He could have gone English Channel. He's in London now.
Where's?
So yeah,
I think he's
really
in
know
London.
where he
I
is.
think London's pretty likely. Nantes has all sorts of advantages. Even Bordeaux, actually. Bordeaux's not a bad landing spot, because usually you think Bordeaux's bad because it's high traffic, and yes, it is high traffic, but at this circumstance, I mean, who's going to get to Bordeaux this turn? Goodness, who's going to get to Bordeaux next turn?
If Van Helsing had been on the rail line, then it's a lot scarier. But the fact he's stuck in Amsterdam, it makes this quite a safe move. You can then get out of Bordeaux, hold the wolf form as long as you want. Yeah.
Van Helsing should go to the North Sea. Because if Dracula is in London, Van Helsing landing in 19 would be very strong. And sort of being like, hey, no sticking around in England. You got to get out of here, Dracula. Which is actually one of the ways to deal with...
the final horse.
I don't agree with this.
He supplied with the horse. Well,
We checked 29. That's.
I mean, this is a good move if he's in Nantes or Bordeaux. But he's in London, you've just given up all the initiative in the UK. Dracula. I mean, if you have consecrated ground, this is a good move, because you're basically like, hey, Dracula, spend as much time as you want in the UK, and then you plan on nuking him. But you have to also know that he's there.
Yeah, and the things, and there's a heavily host in the discard pile, so he can't kill him in Manchester, for example. So it's not as good as it could be.
Yeah, although it's still. I mean, like, it's still really strong. If he were to, although London's not quite as bad, Edinburgh is the worst. You land in Edinburgh and then they drop down consecrated ground in Manchester, but just Manchester, and it's like, not only do you have to go to sea, but you have to go to sea after feeding, and then dark calling, and then hiding, and then you can have a Dracula error, take 5 damage, and then have to go to sea.
Mm-hmm.
That's the worst situation. And it's like, no, I'm not putting the second token in Edinburgh. I'm forcing you to wait, and you have all the time in the world to jump on him.
Yeah.
I think I did that exact same thing to somebody. I don't know. I forget.
Not me. So he could be in 23, 43, 33, 39, or 8.
23, 39, 8, 43. Oh, he's sure.
Well, I mean, fair enough. If he had landed straight in Edinburgh, then this would have been curtains for Dracula. So, right, I mean, fair enough.
What you do, you actually pick London first here to know. If he is in London, you drop the other two in 35 and 52. That forces him to 43, and then you actually do have the situation that you have with Edinburgh, and that's actually a dead Dracula. Like, not technically dead, but like, oh boy. That's rough. Now, if he's in 39 or 8, now, if you throw it down and he's not in London, then you use the others to try to block him off. Then you put the second one in 8 to see if he's there. And if he's not there, then you put another one in 15, forcing him to stay in 39.
If he's in Bordeaux, if he's in Bordeaux, then you check.
No, that's not the right choice. No, this isn't how you use consecrated ground. He's using it to search. I mean, this is one of the... No, he's in London. God, it's painful to watch.
There's like the meme that I made of like all this. We found him though. Well, the consecrated ground is actually pretty good because he can't go to Bordeaux now.
If he had done what I had said, and he'd thrown the first one in London, okay, he's not in London, and then he said, okay, next one in Bordeaux. All right, he's not in Bordeaux. Then either throw one in Nantes or in 15. I guess I guess this is better than that. So never mind.
Nantes is an aristocratic. Yeah.
It worked out fine for him because he's going to have to now either wolf form on, or he's going to have to move and hope the hunters don't jump on him, because he could get hit by 2 hunters here with fast horses if he goes to Paris, or on a Paris, because it could be a rail.
Oh, sorry, Mina, you're down for the count.
But she doesn't have movement, so it's fine. If I have all the hunt, I mean, it's not good because she wants to psychic scan. But since she doesn't have fast horses, then if she's the one trapped there, it's okay. It's not the end of the world.
He also can't wolf form through the consecrated ground.
Correct.
Bordeaux,
you can't
go to 47.
Yeah. And now you can wolf form. There was a big long debate in the rules about whether or not
Kazik got mad that I did it. I played him. Remember that.
The general consensus on Board Game Geek is that you cannot. but there is an argument to be made that you can. And I don't want to get into the details of the debate because a lot of this game is debating.
I mean, ultimately, the most important thing is in the digital edition, you can wolf form out, and that's what he's doing. The fact that you can do it, you can do it.
You can't call it a bug. You can call it a bizarre rule interpretation, but it's not a bug.
Absolutely.
And it's fine. The wolf form here is fine. Yeah. I'm assuming he's in 54.
It'd be the safest place because only Sword can jump on him. Unless he thinks he can outplay him by wolf forming somewhere. Is there a vampire? I didn't even look. Oh, it's an aristocratic. Ooh.
That's not very strong. I mean, anyone can kill that. He's just kind of being like, "Hey, Van Helsing, take care of this vampire instead of going after me."
They have to dedicate time to it, which is kind of the most important thing. And he saved up all his rumor tokens, so if he loses one now, it doesn't matter because you have the other two to throw down behind it.
Oh,
yikes.
That's nice for Dracula. Man, that's got to be the one in the stack because he's been working on tickets for a while.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, there's 9 in the pile, so maybe there's a couple because he's had to use a couple to rail around. So, I mean that was good because he could have wolf formed there, hoping he'd outplay them, but I think you just play safe and you go to 54.
A really great move would be if Van Helsing has a 3/2 to go down to 48. That would be just so nice.
Yeah. And then he's forced into Marseille or Barcelona.
Oh,
he's not.
Whoa! There. Now you check 36 with Van Helsing, and now you have all reports. He doesn't have it.
I guess he just doesn't. He doesn't want to ruin his horse economy anymore, which I kind of respect. Do you check 24 here?
24 seems like a pretty good check to me. I mean, I guess he could be in 9, but like Godalmy's gonna check 9, and then.
And if you go to 24, you're surrounding Marseille, which is the most likely place. You can't wolf form out of Marseille, which is very dangerous. So you've got hunters in quite close proximity to him.
Yeah.
Here he goes.
Nope.
No.
Whoa.
So he could be in 9.
That's still a good move because the idea is that it's a lot of times it's more powerful to go ahead of Dracula than to go to where Dracula is.
Yeah.
Right.
And it blocks off one of the places. Did he fake a wolf form to Paris? Oh, and he's gonna go
stuff like that. I wouldn't have done a wolf form to Paris though. I would have just maybe normal.
Right now, UK is safe from consecrated ground.
That's true. And also, maybe you do use the wolf.
It's going to be forever till he can get out.
No, English Channel isn't. It's North Atlantic.
Oh, you're
right. So he can. Maybe he faked the wolf form to Paris, making the hunters move to the extremities. He now sneaks into Le Havre and then off he goes. And even if he shows the sea location, who cares? Because he's bought himself loads of time. He's, the consecrated ground's now gone.
Yeah, but the second he shows the sea location, meaning he's to go to North Sea, and she will have been able to do that by then, because by the time he goes to the English Channel, fog is going to be gone.
The fog will clear. Yep.
Yeah. Which is the thing people need to understand about dealing with the UK. You can't play catch up when it comes to the UK. You have to move either proactively or at the same speed. It's not like with other parts of the map where you can be like renewed vigor, chartered carriage, sense of emergency. You have 2 excellent weathers in the deck. Maybe you can use those to deal with the UK, but if you do, Dracula's just going to leave again and then enter again, and then you have to do the excellent weather. The best thing to do is to be either proactive. Well, that is the best thing to do, is to be proactive in your movement.
She's full health for Mina.
Yep.
And you also put a rumor on the aristocratic.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of boards like this. Like just the state of where hunters are and where Dracula is. This is pretty unique.
Now, do you think he did the fake wolf form to Paris? Do you think that it's a good idea? It's different. Is he in 9?
I wouldn't be surprised. Mistergreen is. I said it at the beginning. Mistergreen does do a backtrack, so I would not be surprised if he's playing Trixie here. Because of course the hunters have to check 54. They have to check Strasbourg. They have to check these places.
Right.
Because if he lets him get through Toulouse for free, God, that's really scary. So
yeah, the fact he didn't go to C makes me think maybe he did the Paris thing. But the thing is, Godalming needs to check Brussels because he needs to check Brussels.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
But North Sea's not going to fall off the trail. So I mean, if he's in, no.
Yeah.
I don't like the Brussels move because where is he now? Amsterdam or Cologne? Ugh, both of them are horrible. Oh, he went to Marseille. Okay, never mind. Okay, you can forget all about that Paris chat.
It's the fog.
Ooh.
I know. Really?
Wow.
Okay.
So that almost. So he's got two forewarns kicking
25 then, right?
Or 37.
Is he going to try to get to Venice?
15 would be the big brain play because what is Van Helsing going to do now? Well, he's going to probably try to make his way down to 25 to 60, but if he's in 15, Seward's stuck there. He can actually now go down to Iberia. 15 would actually be the really good move. It'd be the really risky one, but it could. He
could also be going down the boot because obviously Florence is now risk-free because consecrated ground isn't a thing he has to worry about anymore. If he wants to get even more distance, he could go across Adriatic, but then he's going to reveal it with the sea, which is maybe not what he wants to do. I'm not sure what he's thinking.
Yeah, this is actually really good for Dracula because that fog blocks Godalming from being able to rail through it into Italy. A lot of people don't know that.
And the rail going from Brussels down into Italy is really awkward. You have to go via Marseille.
Railing through the Alps is just it's just a nightmare. You got to bypass,
He's got fast horses, so if he's got good economy, he can get to 60 tomorrow and then get to Venice the next day, or Genoa the next day, or he can block Munich. Maybe might also be something he has to do.
Well, someone take care of the aristocratic.
Nina going to Munich makes, or moving towards Munich makes sense to me. The ideal thing I think you would do is Godalming goes to Zurich, Mina tries to get to 41. You really need Van Helsing getting down to like 25 or something.
I think because Van Helsing didn't move, I think Dracula's moving to 20 here. If Van Helsing had moved to, if he'd moved to Milan. I don't know if Dracula
ground is out. The big weakness Italy has is now off.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to be going west towards that consecrated ground token.
No, but then Dracula can decide now. He can maybe go, if Hunters don't have enough movement, he can go Adriatic, like go down the boot and then go from Bari across to the east, or he can go to Tyrrhenian coast and then go either direction. And the Hunters, unless they do magically find a money trail or hypnosis, they're not going to find. And this is Friday, week 3, by the way. The Hunters are running out of time.
Running out of time, even though they haven't, even though no vampires are matured, it's still, they need to move fast.
15 here, you think? No,
he's going to 60, like I said.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then someone's got to deal with 39, Non. If they're dealing with Non, they're not dealing with Italy, or they're not getting in position to head Dracula off going east, for example.
That's right. Van Helsing might have to go to Nantes.
Oh, that feels really bad.
But
unless
you can't let that mature.
No, you can't.
If someone's going to be out of position, Van Helsing's a good one because he at least can do his, use his abilities. Yeah, he's got to be going to Nantes.
Yeah, but he's got horses though. That's the problem. If Dracula is going east, you need those horses. This is why I don't like horses on Van Helsing. I'm not blaming Fangs for that because sometimes it can just be the way the item deck works. But
I guess he's going to have Seward take care of it, which is another thing you don't want. Seward's your best hunter. You don't want him doing clerical work, trying to check to see if some French noble is really a vampire and then calling the police on him and getting warrants and all that. And it delays you, it does this whole thing. You got to unscrew those coffins. It's just a big, it's a bunch of, it's just, it's all the inglorious parts of vampire hunting. All
Seward is out of timeout.
All right.
Now, there is a risk here if Dracula is now moving to Rome, for example. If they do have renewed vigor, they can get at least 2 hunters onto him.
It might be enough. How much health does Dracula have?
Rome is a lair, don't forget.
11. You can kill an 11 health Dracula with 200.
Oh, it's Rome a lair. Oh, good point.
Oh. Yeah. Well, he can unlair it.
But would he remember to?
Gotta remember your lairs.
Unless he doesn't care about it being revealed. Maybe he thinks those 2 encounters will protect him enough.
That's actually a good point. At this point, it's like he's not really revealing anything if he moves to Rome. The hunters know he's there, so maybe you take the free encounter.
And if there's no forewarned, then he can just put out another fog and trap them for, as long as he wants. He could have. Oh, what about Florence? Florence got cleared, so that's been dealt with.
Yes, we could be in Florence.
Yeah, she took. I was surprised she took it off. I would have kept it on. Let's go back to it.
Maybe didn't want to reveal it this turn, but now revealing Rome because he's even deeper into Italy. So yeah, I mean I agree. If he had bats in Rome, in Florence, that'd have been a bit unfortunate if he had to clear the layer. But maybe he was going to reveal too much information. But now moving to Rome, he feels because he's wasted the hunters' time. They've had to move to Munich. They've had to move to Zurich. I mean, damage going to come down anyway.
And someone's going to need to still take care of Nantes.
I think Mina's going to go and deal with that. She can rail to Paris and then move across.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Oh, right. Did he get rid of Rome?
We'll see.
We can't see it at the moment.
He could also be in Spain, too. He could have snuck around Seward.
Yep, he could have done the whole backtrack thing that Quincy was mentioning. Oh, Rome's off the trail.
Oh, I think he. Although, I mean, Mistergreen's pretty good. He's a pretty good player. He knows to keep like shadow trails of this is not where I am, but this is where the hunters think I could be. So I need to clear these trails so that I am obfuscating these locations where I'm not. Really good hunter players do, or really good Dracula players do that.
Yeah, that's what you did last game.
Mr. Green's been playing this game, I think, as long as I have. He knows all the tricks.
So he could be in 48 now.
Well, but you'll know that soon enough when you go down to 25.
That's the only problem with this, yeah. Well, you have to check Milan as well. Do you know it doesn't tell you everything? Oh.
I don't know about that move. I would have gone to 25. You want to know if he's down there.
Okay,
so he played safe, but that's okay. It was nice to dream of a backtrack.
That's what we're all imagining, yeah.
But then if he got it wrong, he'd be in a really sticky situation.
Ooh, it's reckless.
So
does Fangs have an escape route or a planned ambush?
I think it's the vampire that's going to need an escape route. This is Seward. He's got, what does Seward have? He's got two items.
2 combat items.
Yeah, this is a regular vampire. I don't think this regular vampire is very long for this world.
But that's also really important information. Yeah, it's really important information for Mr. Green that Seward is holding on to a combat event and not something else like a forewarned, for example. That's critical for him to know.
Fangs, you think? Mesmerized. Okay.
Fangs and mesmerized. Those are the 2 common ones.
No holy bullets.
Well, maybe
the item. Oh, the item pile's reset, so he might have got holy bullets out again. He's only got 2 combat items plus the horse plus something else. It's either a stake or holy bullets. Oh, unless it's a garlic reef.
If it was a garlic wreath, he would have used it. So garlic wreaths actually are okay against reckless vampires. It kind of turns off their whole ambush thing. I mean, they can still do it, but they would die. You wouldn't save a garlic wreath.
For the fight with Dracula? Well, maybe.
The Fangs of Fire. Dodge.
Living up to his name. Well, no, it's the wrong way round. Mr. Green's playing as Dracula.
Yeah.
I know all about Fangs of Fire. You merely adopted the Fangs. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see as a great strength until I had become a man.
Do you throw a punch at Seward here, or do you escape?
Punch is okay.
Oh, strength.
Escape.
Okay, nice escape.
Okay.
Well done, Seward. Nice.
I'll say well done if he happened to have the stake, and we'll kill him next time.
Yeah, pick and weave. Yep.
Yeah, that was basically just the 2 guys doing one of those kung fu movies where they're trying to hit each other the whole time, and they all miss the whole time.
Let's see if Mina makes it to Nantes.
Oh, yikes.
Van Helsing, where are you going?
37, right?
I guess
57.
Maybe he needs to trade. Actually, 57 is pretty good because if he goes Adriatic, the 57 Adriatic to 55, that's so fast compared to the land moves. See, generally speaking, it's faster to go by land than by sea, but the 57 to 55 is an exception. Oh, wow. He's going to use he wants to guarantee it.
I think that's the right play.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then she can supply tomorrow.
Especially if she's got rail tickets that if she spend them and make horse economy worse. Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah. Because you have your hunters with the horses. Well, I haven't been paying attention. Who all has horses?
Everyone but Mina.
Yeah. Then
gentleman.
yeah, you have the people who need the horses near Dracula. It's nice for Mina to have prizing return, but it is better for the hunters who are near Dracula to have horse economy that's efficient. And technically, this does make her deal with it faster.
Stake, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, stake. Yeah.
Right.
But there's a rumor token after it. Imagine this is another vampire.
It might be. Remember, we didn't see a lot of vampires early, so we could be seeing a lot.
So
of
how's he gonna do with that one?
guns. The holy bullets.
He doesn't have holy.
no.
He doesn't have holy. Well, Sue doesn't have holy bullets.
He can't because he has the horse.
And
just use
the
the
stake
stake.
that just got ditched.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the pile's reset, so I don't think he'll have holy bullets now.
Right. Well, he's
There
cleared
is
the
a risk
trail.
though. If
He has
he
cleared
has
the trail.
cleared the trail. If there's
Nothing
renewed
is
vigor
betrayed.
here,
Yeah,
he
he's cleared
could
the trail,
exit.
and Dracula's not scored any points yet. He still has a lot of turns, and he's gonna have to go ocean from here. Fangs of Fire might be able to win this with just a 1v1 versus 6 health Dracula at the end. With
Maybe.
Dracula helping.
Oh yeah, Aggie's in play. That's right.
Yeah, because Aggie actually helps a whole lot. Aggie makes it so that Fangs versus Punch is a net gain, and Fangs versus both of the guns is a net gain. So it actually shifts. She actually shifts the combat matrix in some pretty significant ways, actually.
Was
And then
37
it's
checked?
not. 37.
I don't think so.
It's right after
That's,
25, right? It's after Genoa.
That's
He
Milan.
could've-
Oh, Milan. No, Milan wasn't checked, but I don't think there's a way he could be there because Zurich and Munich were being blocked. So I don't think it's possible that he's there.
Unless he's hiding there. But
Right,
there's no way.
Oh,
There's no
that's so
way.
risky.
Because
It's
like
so
the
risky if
moved
they
to
bump into
Florence.
him.
Oh, he's not there. He must be in 37, and then they immediately jump on him.
Ocean.
No.
So he was in
Right.
45.
Yeah.
That's Rome.
He's in Rome.
Mediterranean. Yep.
Like there are things that are theoretically possible, but it's like Dracula.
We gotta-
Like it's just
You gotta talk about it.
Yeah, you got to talk
After
about
the-
it. We have to say
After
something.
the Quincy game, after the Quincy Wakazik game, we have to talk
we're
about
back.
all the options.
It's like, wait, is he
He
even
pulled
on-
Scot-sword and me for like the
is he
longest
even
time.
in Europe anymore? Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
This is good though because if Dracula moves one more sea space and then lands, that's when the 4th week kicks in. So he'll be getting points the second he lands,
He had
which
to
is
do
the
this-
timing that you want.
Wait, hold on. He has to be Turinian.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
in
that's
Trinidad.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's
Well, we gotta-
okay because
well,
he can go either way. Oh, there's
Oh,
vampires
another
everywhere
reckless.
now in Italy. Makes sense. He just wants to just try and delay the hunters as long as possible.
This is the one without the rumor token, right?
Correct.
Mhm.
I wonder if he was just machine gunning out vampires at this point, because that's sometimes you want to do that. You just want to be like, I've been building up a bunch of vampires in my hand this whole time, and I am gonna play every one of these vampires in a row. You have to deal with them. Of course, that's best when well, not best, but it is fun to do when you hide and you double vamp in a single location. But just leaving a trail of 5-year vampires can be tough for hunters to deal with.
He's been doing mesmerize to start every combat. Do you think? Okay, because that's what he's been drawing. But maybe.
Could be, but it is still good. But punch is also still good. I think.
Gdamming no stake. So
That makes the punch even
fight
more
this-
likely.
If you play a knife here,
See-
if you have it,
Knife
or
could
do
be
you
good.
just or do you try to?
This is kind of a
sneak-
50-50 on if Dracula's going to go fangs or mesmerize. Strength is actually not a bad play since you think Godalming doesn't have a stake.
Oh,
Oh,
he's
no,
out.
you got a point.
Leaving.
point.
And that's a very important point.
It is.
Oh, I can't even remember when Consecrated Ground got played. Who revealed Heavenly Host? Because that might also factor into
I
thinking
have so
here.
much trouble keeping track of that.
I don't know. I can rewind your live stream.
Not all points are
The
created equal, but that's an important one.
And if there is a vampire lair kicking around, if the Huns are holding on to that, then they're probably not going to have the stakes. Look, my influence. Yeah,
Alright, I'm gonna
one of
tell-
those
that's fine.
games where the hunters have just dealt with the trail, and Dracula's not been able to accumulate any points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm rewatching your stream.
Dracula.
Excellent weather.
Oh,
wait.
not now. No, not when he's at sea. Oh, this is
Maybe
not good
he's going to try to block off Cagliari.
No,
I
you
don't think
wait
Dracula's,
for him to go to Cagliari, then you go there. No, that's not.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that because now he's going to be really slow to get off Cagliari, and that's not what you want. Because Dracula, and especially now, Dracula can even go even further east, for example.
I wouldn't do that either. I wouldn't have moved Van Helsing. I would have supplied.
Van Helsing has Heavenly Host. I'm looking right now.
Okay, because Dracula and Tyrrhenian now, he can go Ionian, he can go Mediterranean, but going Ionian is really good for him. Because
Ionian's so strong now.
And Dr. Seward has it too.
Okay, right, that's good to know. So Godami's got 2 weapons then, unless he's supplied up and got the third one. Oh, because one got discarded, didn't it? Yeah, okay. Right, so he's probably not got it. So he might have a knife and a gun, maybe?
Now, as Drac, do you go Ionian? Is he just
I would say so. With these 2 moves, yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. Maybe that's all. Maybe this is some big brain play by Fangs of Fire to make it so obvious that Ionian is the play that he then just assumes he goes Ionian and then he sends everyone east. That's a kind of play that people do. I don't know if I would.
And if I use X and Weather, then that's a big threat gone. Because I was really scared of an X and Weather across Adriatic to block 55, for example. And if you've got the other one coming in by horse to like Zagreb and then onto Sofia, that's scary with 2 hunters. But now, Sword can't get unless he's got the second X and Weather. But they don't know where he is. That's the thing. It's not absolutely certain he's onto Ionian. But I think this is what you want as Dracula. If the hunters make their move before you have to decide which sea space you're going to, that's just a big win.
You want to try to force Dracula to make the move, and then you jump on him. Yeah, this is going to be rough. I think it's going to be a really hard game for the hunters to win. They're going to need like 2 renewed vigors to do this.
Whoa.
I don't know about
that's
trail here.
Ionian. Yep.
Because what do you do as Dracula? You move again.
You go one more sea. Yep.
How good was your bunny trail? I mean, it was kind of good, but...
and if he moves one more sea space, then wolf form comes back. So then the threat of Adriatic wolf form is then a possibility. Or maybe it's just too... I don't know. Or do you just land anyway?
You might just land. It's really hard to say no to points.
What about that that rumor token? That's on Florence.
That's another thing.
Well, that's another. Yeah, I mean, it could be a big ruse, but
I might go Black Sea and work my way over to Castle Dracula, because then moving to what would that be? 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, you would actually win moving to Castle Dracula. I guess that would be for style points.
Big break.
Or no. With wolf form, you could actually skip and jump to Castle Dracula early, and then if they can't kill you that turn, then you move and win. And that's actually
And imagine if the vampires matures, he'd move into Castle Dracula. It is a night fight, which is pretty scary. If he moves into Castle Dracula, he'd get the influence, get the health back, and then the vampire matures. So he'd benefit from the heal to help his IDS.
For the IDS, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas if he moved into Castle Dracula to win the game, you wouldn't technically get the health because the influence would be gained beforehand.
Why did Godalming run away if his plan was to try to kill this guy normally?
I don't have a response for you.
I don't know.
Maybe he's supplied
the gun. Oh, this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt Godalming.
Oh, this screams he's got a knife, so you can just play. But then maybe. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it's hard at night. Man, it's hard to kill a vampire at night, especially when he knows he's revealed that he has a gun? I think he's revealed he has a rifle.
Yeah. Why is he fighting him? I'm so confused by this play.
It's probably a desperation play.
Well, behind him, there's a rumor down.
Well, that's I would check that first because you don't want to go through all the the hell of killing this vampire and then suddenly there's a 7-point vampire behind it. Right. Have fun with that one.
It's worse. Yeah.
And if Van Helsing has to backtrack to deal with that, that's also a big win for Dracula because he's not going east to. Yeah.
It's hard to see Dracula not winning if Van Helsing has to backtrack.
You gotta mesmerize if you're the vampire, if you have it. So you just
especially without CG. Because you can't CG Black Sea or something and force Dracula backwards or whatever.
Mesmerize does feel pretty safe here.
Strength or mesmerize. Oh,
maybe,
really?
Maybe you didn't draw it.
Oh,
Yes.
well... There's no holy bullet, so this is okay.
Well, remember the deck reshuffle.
Now
that is still...
a clause
Yeah,
can kill Godalming.
If there's no great strength.
Hmm.
Which
Yeah,
might
I
be
know
his
the deck
plan.
reset is just because of the number of combat cards. It means he has no, because he has a horse, so... Yeah.
This will get him 4 points if he kills him. Or if
No,
Yeah,
this will get him
more, right?
5.
5 points.
Whoa. That just accelerates
I can't imagine
everything
Dracula
so much.
not winning if he kills Godalming here. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Okay, does he have great strength?
Well, does he have great strength? Let's see. Oh. Oh, he says darn in the chat. I don't think he has it.
Oh.
Oh,
yeah,
dear.
I can't.
Wow.
I mean, that's got to be GG. Well, I mean, it's not.
That's
Anything can happen.
But that could be a turning point of the game in the highlights.
Yeah,
In your highlights report of this game afterwards.
At this point, somehow, I mean, I guess Seward lands and you hope to win the 1v1. But I can't.
I don't think it matters, because Dracula can just land in Salonika. If there's no renewed vigor, Van Helsing can't get to him, Seward can't get to him, and then you wolf him out of Salonika if you want to. And I think there's just too many places to check. And that'll take him up to 12 points. You just,
I'm looking at their chat.
Go catch it, vampire. Yeah, I can't see how. Yeah, those 5 points are massive.
Massive.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
claws.
Why you don't discard stakes, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yikes.
And why you don't
it's helping him out.
vampires at night. Oh, did he give him a Dracula?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you gotta try to something. You gotta try to get that renewed vigor.
Yeah, get the IDS.
And maybe it's sensationalist press, you know.
Who knows? Yeah, exactly.
He does have good luck, right? Nina had good luck.
Yeah,
before.
He
So
does have good luck. Oh, he just landed. Okay,
Yeah,
this
that
is
makes
just
sense.
yeah. He's not in any. He's not under no pressure. If Seward
there
had
could be a
not used
fight
Excellent
here.
Weather,
Dracula doesn't win next turn.
Throw the
So
rumor down
but
for his style.
Seward's irrelevant. I think.
yeah, that's true.
He's not relevant this turn
All he
anyway.
does is keeps Dracula from like going to 55 and then Athens. Well, no, because yeah, I guess it keeps him from wolf forming to Athens.
If this is a vampire in Florence, then Dracula can heal to get IDS and the thing matures. Obviously, in 2 days' time, not today, obviously. So he can't get to the castle, but healing. Oh wait, what? Where's this?
No, he shouldn't.
Oh, he came out of the hospital.
He came out
hospital.
Oh,
vampire's like, I thought I just killed you. I am Lord Godalming's brother, Lord Paul Doubling. Wouldn't the last name be the same?
Why would you do this?
I'm Baron Godalming.
What is?
There's no renewed vigor, so Dracula's very safe
he kind
here.
of has to, yeah.
Oh, he's got another point out of it.
Does that?
That'll be game. That's GG.
He could just move to win now.
Yeah. Unless you have Vampire Lair with the stake.
Yeah, but Dracula wouldn't be able to feed to get the HP button.
Wow,
Maybe he doesn't care about that.
Man,
Like,
I don't think Dracula won this game. I think that Reckless Vampire won this game.
Yeah.
I think that's the guy who should be on the final win screen.
I was going to just mention that too.
I think he literally will have scored more points than Dracula has. Is that right? Maybe I think an even number?
Yeah, the
He
Reckless.
scored 6 so far. Yeah, see, this is what we really need to talk about. Has the Reckless scored more points than Dracula has? He scored 6, he scored
7.
1 just then.
7.
He scored 7?
Dracula got
more than Dracula.
Wow. Yeah, Reckless will get
Reckless
more
Vampire
points.
wins
That's
the game. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
Dracula.
it's the same one too. The same vampire.
Right.
It wasn't different ones.
Dracula has to become the supplicant to that Reckless Vampire. He gets
the Roman
points,
Reckless.
So. Right. Mr. Green doesn't get the points that the Reckless Vampire does. I think that says that in the rules.
Let's see if Van Helsing can land on him with a charger.
Nah, he can't. He's on a port. There's no way. Tricarriage doesn't get there in time.
One.
Yeah, he's lost one day because he had a chance.
Yeah. Well, 2 days
that.
really, because that was 6 additional points, so that is 2 days worth of time.
Yeah,
Oh
game's
yeah, no,
over
I was saying
because-
the 1 point from Godalming coming out.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Before that, there was a chance for like a 1v1.
Now, if Dracula wants to try and style on him here, he can feed, try and get a little bit more health, and then move. Or if he just wants to play the safe play, he just moves now and he wins.
No, that's way too risky. He feeds, he gets a 2v1 on 46.
Nope. Well, so it doesn't have forewarned.
Oh,
Correct,
Unless it's a speedy, unless it's a speedy telegraph we don't know about, which he might pick up.
And we
now.
know Dracula has fog because he's been through the deck once.
Does Mistergreen take the
Yeah.
sure win? I think he does. He does.
I
It says
think you do.
GGWP.
Just
Yeah. I think it's
yeah,
done.
I'd say you take the guaranteed win. I'm afraid. Yeah. Just. I mean, I could understand maybe why he wouldn't, because if he thinks he needs IDS to catch JB Philly, then you might, but then he doesn't want to jeopardize this victory, because this is the victory now. This is pretty much guaranteed Mistergreen goes through. I don't think it's possible now because of the IDS difference between them.
I'm going to tell them
Yeah,
about
that's-
that we've determined that the Reckless Vampire gets the win. We commentators have determined since the Reckless Vampire got 7 VP and Drac only 6 that the Reckless wins.
Yeah, Reckless Vampire won the game. We'll have to add that to the group table.
Yeah.
Adam in is the win.
Yeah. Well, wow. That was a game. Very interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen a game kind of like that this league. Just like very systematic clearing of the trail. In the end, the CG actually worked out all right for the hunters, but Dracula just managed to escape. The one place he checked was Marseille bought him that extra time to move out. Yeah, fascinating.
Yeah, don't try to fight vampires at night. It's not if you can fight them at day.
No, yeah, those night fights are just brutal. It'd be interesting to know what was actually behind it, because imagine if Godalming had gone to all that effort to kill it, and then there was a rumor token thing behind it, but then maybe it didn't matter. He's just probably going to try to move to win beforehand. Well, no, he'd need that vampire to mature, Dracula, because he basically got 2 days worth of...
Yeah, it was a huge swing. Also, don't use excellent weather when Dracula's at sea.
Unless you're certain of the direction he's going, and you want to...
Yeah, like
but
maybe,
you didn't know which way he was going. Yeah.
Maybe if you like have to get to the UK for some reason, like there would have to be some very specific reason that you would use it while they're still at sea. But generally speaking, I would say you never want to do. You want to use it like chartered carriage. Well, no, not like chartered carriage, because chartered carriage sometimes you do use it when you're not planning on getting on his location. You want to use it like sense of emergency, where you're usually going to be getting onto his location or blocking off a location that he potentially can move to.
Well, that was very exciting.
What does that do for the league standings?
It means that Mistergreen is definitely qualifying. Fangs of Fire could win his final game to finish 4-4. Now the question is, if Mistergreen can beat Edward Scissorhands with enough IDS, he'll go above JB Philly. If he loses to Edward Scissorhands, or he wins but by a very small IDS, I think it's about 8, more or less. Don't quote me on that, people. We'll have to check the results when they come out tomorrow. Then JB Philly will finish second, Mistergreen third. So
are the top 3 clinched now, or?
No, well, in terms of like nobody else can enter the top 3, yes, but the actual final positions, Edwards is definitely top, but we don't know who's going to finish second between JB Philly and Mistergreen. That's still up in the air. Yeah, so Mistergreen's got a hunter game against Edward Scissorhands, so he'll if he wants to finish second, he'll have to look. But then again, he might look at Group D. Quincy's your group, because obviously whoever finishes second in Group C will also play against the second place player from Group C, Group D, sorry, in the second stage. So maybe Mistergreen might be looking, going, I don't know, who'd I rather face in the second stage, Warecraft or Quincy Morris?
Oh, that could be
a little bit of strategy going on here.
That could be interesting.
That's going to be very exciting. Oh, anyway, I'm going to have to stop the stream because I haven't had my dinner's been sitting here for the last 2 hours
Oh,
and I haven't
dear.
eaten any of it.
Yep.
So I'm going off to eat my dinner. But
right.
thank you two for joining. It's been
Yeah.
great fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, great
I'll
game.
be logging off. Have a good weekend and Godspeed.
Yeah, take care, everyone. Bye.
Yeah, take care. Thank you everybody who's been watching either the live stream or we haven't had many comments, but that's okay, no problem. But thank you for watching, and I shall see you in the next video very soon. Take care. Bye bye.